Hello student, welcome to today's session on the topic which I'm going to cover. The name of the topic is meaning and objective of accounting. So meaning and objective of accounting, it contains, there are three aspects, which I'm going to cover it. Okay. So let me start with the meaning of accounting. Okay. So meaning of accounting, it is nothing but the uh, accounting is called the language of business. So the language is nothing but it is depicted in the specific format. That's the reason it is known as language of business. It involves systematic recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting of financial transactions measurable in money. Okay, so all the transactions or all the behaviors or the activities which is not converted into money, which is not, that should not be a part of accounting. Okay, so it is nothing but the recording. Whatever transaction happened, that should be recorded. Then the classification is required. Classification is nothing but the grouping. Then summarization is something related to the specific accounting portions, that is comes under financial accounting. Financial reporting or balance sheet, it is comes under final accounts. It is nothing but the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. After preparation of this, the interpretation is very much required. So interpretation is nothing but to depict all those transactions, all those activities in a layman language. I would say it is easily understandable for everyone. Okay. Now talking about the definition. So definition, as per the American Accounting Association, accounting is the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed decision by users. So this is the very standard definition. Okay. Especially accounting, it collects and process financial information of a business for relevant stakeholders. So stakeholders could be, the person who is maybe the shareholder, debtors, creditors. Okay. Apart from that, general public or government as well. So the financial accounting, or I would say the accounting which comes under the final account, books of accounts, the interpretation is very much helpful to understand the health of the business, health of the company, health of the firm. And based upon that, all the relevant stakeholders easily understand the position of the company. All right. Now moving to the next slide, which comes process and importance. So process is nothing, as I mentioned earlier, first one is the recording. So whatever transactions happened, that should be recorded in a specific book that is known as journal. So all the entries happen in the general books. All right. So next one is classifying. So once the entry is done in general book, now moving to all recordings in a group. So suppose there are 5 transactions in purchase account, so all comes under one of the book or one of the grouping that known as purchase account, and it is nothing but the ledger. So once it is posted into the journal, then it is grouped and come into one of the format that is known as ledger. Once ledger is done, that means the grouping of the transaction is done. Now it comes to summarization. Okay, and it is very, very important because summarization is nothing but the final account, as I mentioned. Okay, it comes trial balance, profit and loss, and balance sheet. Okay, so trial balance is nothing but the checking of all these entries, whatever mentioned in the debit side and credit side, that should match for each and every aspects of the transactions. All right, now moving to the profit and loss account, that shows all the expenses, right, and the revenue. Okay, so similarly coming to the balance sheet is nothing but the capital which is for the business, then positions of the stakeholders, and also the profit and loss in this section. Okay, so finally once the final account is done, final account is prepared, Now it comes under the interpretation. Interpretation is nothing but the analysis of decision. As I mentioned earlier, there are so many stakeholders are involved in this, and maybe they can easily understand or analyze the final account, and based upon that they may take the decision. Okay, so it could be the shareholders, as I mentioned, owners, managers as well, right, the decision makers, then investors as well, the public, okay, and the government. All right. Next one is important aspect of this. It provides accurate financial history. So anyone can see past record, previous history of the company. On the basis of that, they can take the decision. Okay, and also the regulatory compliance. That is most important aspect. So regulatory compliance, it is nothing but whether the company is following all sort of required guidelines, which is supposed to be followed by the company. Okay. Now moving to the last segment. So this is something related to objective of accounting, right? So objective of accounting is to maintain the systematic record of the transactions. So systematic record of the transactions, that is which I mentioned in one of the book, that is known as general book, right? So all sort of primary entry has been recorded in general book. Next one is to determine profit or loss for a period. Okay, so especially based upon the grouping, and once the reconciliation is done, then it comes to profit and loss account, right? So determine how much profit or loss for the specific period for which financial year they are looking for. Okay, next one is to ascertain the businesses financial positions, right? So as on date, through balance sheet, anyone can easily identify what is the health of the company. Health is nothing but the financial health of the company, right, based upon their profit and loss and other aspect of the final account. Next one is to protect business properties and assets. Yes, definitely, right? Based upon that, maybe creditors can take the decision whether we have to continue with this company or not, right? Maybe the shareholders can take the decisions, right? So it is nothing but to protect the business properties and assets to take the decision. Next one is to assist decision making for the management and stakeholders, right? Definitely. So based upon the financial health, financial strength, or financial position of the company, the management can take the decision, right? So suppose, I mean, if debtors are pending from the long period of time, right? So they may take the decision, or they can take the decision for the giving the debtors additional funds or additional money or additional sale on that. Okay. Talking about the next one, to meet legal regulatory requirements. So this is nothing but related to tax returns, right? So to identify how much tax is payable, or whether it is correctly updated or not, or paid in advance or not, for that, I mean, accounting is required. So one of the objective of the accounting is to fulfill the regulatory requirements and also meet the legal requirements. Last but not least, to prevent, detect errors and fraud, and foster transparency and trust. That is most important objective of the accounting. Why I'm saying most important? Because trust and transparency is very much important for this, right? Because previously, I mean, when the most of the firms are not following the golden standard of the accounting, or not going through this books of accounts, they generally writing in books, but not following the accounting principles and all. So there might be a chances of error and fraud, right? So to mitigate that, the objective of accounting is also here, which I'm stating, that to prevent, detect if there is any error or any fraud, and also foster the transparency, so that build a trust among the stakeholders, shareholders, okay, and also the government as well. So with this note, okay, I mean, I'm gonna conclude this, especially the accounting is very much important, okay, for the business, and also based upon the analysis, it is crucial for the stakeholders as well. Okay, that's all for today's session. I hope you all understand the topic. keep practicing, and keep understanding all these aspects of the accounting. And we'll see you in the next time. If you have any doubt, please contact me through my urban profile. Thank you.